So where do you see the real skill gap begins in the student point of view?
To be very honest, at this point of time, there are so many resources readily available to students out there. If they use it wisely,
What is the fastest way to become like industry ready?
I would suggest go ahead, have a internship done on any of the companies out there. Put your efforts into it. If you do that, you will be, in touch with what real world problems or solutions systems have been created.
And moreover, the project. Same students are there, they are working on projects, but some are got selected, some are not.
Your question has that answer as itself. Okay, they are working on the same project from the same college, but still, so few are selected and few are not selected. Okay, so there's a a yardstick from where a company would be measuring whether I need to select this person or not as such.
How to become a job ready in this AI era?
They would have to try everything out there, and then they need to figure it out what is of their interest, whether I'm willing to do work on a UI front, whether I'm good with the analytical, whether I'm good with data, whether I'm good with security, where my interest lies up there.
Is learning Gen AI is more than just a prompt writing? वेलकम टू आइडिया पॉडकास्ट। आज हमारे साथ हैं हेतल मेहता सर, सीईओ एट एनसी ByteCode LLP। सर माइक्रोसॉफ्ट सोल्यूशन पार्टनर इकोसिस्टम में डेटा एंड एआई, एज्योर, SaaS, क्लाउड नेटिव एप्लीकेशन, जेन एआई, पावर बीआई एंड एंटरप्राइज सॉफ्टवेयर सॉल्यूशंस पर काम कर रहे हैं। हेतल सर ने स्टार्टअप, एसएमईज और एंटरप्राइज के साथ स्केलेबल क्लाउड फर्स्ट सॉल्यूशन, AI implementation, dashboard-driven insights, legacy modernization and SaaS platform पर काफी real world work किए हैं। आज हम उनसे स्टूडेंट्स के करियर, प्रैक्टिकल स्किल्स, AI, confusions, cloud technology, project building and industry expectation के बारे में बात करेंगे। Welcome Hetal sir to Idea Podcast.
Good afternoon.
Very good afternoon, sir. So my first question to you is your journey from developer to CEO. Can you explain that, please?
The journey was awesome and it's still continuing. So अभी खत्म नहीं हुआ है. So I
Right.
started my journey in the year 2002 as a trainee software engineer. Moved up to software engineer, senior software engineer, system analyst, senior system analyst, and then moved to CEO position as such. So
Mhm.
for past 24-25 years, this journey has taught me a lot of things, where to dig in, where to stop up ahead, and where to move forward.
Mhm.
So that has been really a roller coaster ride for me. I've seen the ups and downs. I've gone through sleepless nights, the excitements of achieving milestones, changing the technology space overall. So what we used to work in the initial days and what we are working right now, there's a huge difference. Entire, things have changed. The way things are working. I've seen a lot of things out there. I'm happy that I'm at this position where I can serve it better now.
Great. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing all this. Just a basic concern, I would say, like as per your journey, and if we see the student, so like with your struggle, so where do you see the real skill gap begins, like in the student point of view?
To be very honest, at this point of time, there are so many resources readily available to students out there. If they use it wisely, if they use it thoroughly up there, okay, in a systematical manner, they can achieve greater heights out there. But it's not all about, doing some certification, completing some tutorial. The main game starts once you have that basic foundation been created in terms of tutorials, in terms of those certification. The next journey or the next bigger battle comes up when you start working on real world programs, real world issues out there. So that is where, the gaps are. Today also, we ask people how do you create those pyramid questions which would be coming up. Okay, let us say if it, those pyramid which we generally go across, those are very basic questions. People are very happy to solve them and they feel that they know everything out there. But those are only, the building blocks as such. Those are building blocks to create your foundation. The gap comes up when this foundation, when you have those building blocks and you don't know how to create, whether a bungalow, whether you are willing to create a flat system, whether you are creating a swimming pool out there. So that real world problem which you are solving, whether the customer needs a swimming pool or he needs a 2 bedroom hall kitchen, those are the things which are, no one teaches it. Nothing is written anywhere. It is all about experience which you gather over the years, over those exposure that makes you, build something which is really awesome out there in the industry. So that is one gap where real world scenarios are not been publicly available. Okay, there are a lot of things where building blocks are available, but what to do with those blocks is not, there's no manual for that thing. So that is a major skill gap which I can see at this point of time.
Very well said. So, like, if there is a way, like a platform where we can put some of the questions, like which is related to industry ongoing, like with the experience of different streams or domain, if we can put there, so that would be like really helpful for each and everyone, I would say.
Absolutely. So apart from, I will say apart from reading those tutorial how to create or how to use a language up there, the person or the student should also be ready to read few use cases out there, user stories out there, okay, which are there available in the market, how those problems were solved, how those things were taken care of. If they start reading those parts, how a real world program, real world scenario or the issue has been resolved, just to make the life easier for the customer, that makes a lot of difference out there.
Yeah, exactly. Moving on ahead, like what is the fastest way to become like industry ready before graduation?
We have a very set of prescribed syllabus which has been taught across. Now, the relevance of that syllabus with the current industry is something which is questionable, to be very honest out there. Because the very practical reason why this happens is, the pace with which our industry is growing and academics are not keeping the same pace out there. And that's not possible, to be very honest, something which is very wide. Okay, they cannot change it on 3 months basis, whereas software development can be done in 3 months basis up there, or language can be created in 3 6 months as such. So that pace is something which is not matching. So academicians are focusing on building the foundation. As I mentioned, those building blocks have been created by academicians. Then what to create, how to create, that is the perspective which a student has to gather. Based on, I would suggest go ahead, have a internship done on any of the companies out there. Very difficult to achieve that or get that, but put your efforts into it. If you do that, you will be in touch with what real world problems or solutions, systems have been created within those organizations. That will give you another perspective out there, apart from those building blocks which you have. So you have the tools in your hand, you have the material in your hand. Now, how to use it, that perspective has to be drawn. So I think an industrial internship is always fruitful. I was very lucky to have that in one of the companies from where my career started up there. So I was too lucky to have a real world live project where I could contribute as a junior developer, and then I rose to the position of leading that project entirely out there. That made a huge change in my execution pattern, my way of thinking up there. So I will say that that is the best thing to get industry ready before your graduation, because you will have time during graduation. You do have time. It's only thing that where to utilize it. That is the focus which comes into picture. Okay, this is my goal and how to achieve that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, exactly. I mean, that projects like from the very starting of once you have in the this graduation or BTech. So if you start year by year, so slowly, steadily, you can gain that confidence and that practical knowledge, and you will be achieving and all those hurdles as well. Yeah.
Sure.
Why some students get shortlisted and some are don't?
The difference is the preparation. When you go for an interview round or that aptitude test up there, the person who is more prepared would always be selected. The person who is less prepared okay, or not prepared, okay, they will always go into the bottom of the line of selection out there. So preparation makes a lot of differences out there. What your goal is, are you prepared for that thing or not? That makes a huge difference out there. So that's where your hard work comes into picture, your discipline comes into picture out there. Apart from that, the culture in which they have been studying across the friend circle which they have, like a few good colleges, every candidate, every student in that are competitive in nature. They will be fighting. They will be having a sportsman spirit. Good competition would always be there between two students up there. Let us say if there's a B grade or C grade colleges which are there, the same syllabus has been taught to them also, but the environment is different, the competitiveness is not there. So when people fight for a place or position out there, through the combination of A, B, C, all grade of students will be coming into picture. It's the preparation, is the ecosystem in which you have been brought up, that makes a huge difference out there. So it might happen a person is very good with technical knowledge, but he might not be polished in communication part as such. And companies will always pick up people who are a full package. If they see that, okay, the person is good on average of technical and communication, they'll always go ahead and pick that person rather than one person having only technical knowledge or one person having only communication skills as such.
Right, sir. Like we also see most of that. Some persons are like good in technicals, but that communication at that part is some way missing. So if you're not like communicate well and present yourself within that technical aspects is there still with you, but you're not able to present it. So there is a little edge where you lag, I believe.
Absolutely.
And moreover, the project, same students are there, they are working on projects, but some are got selected, some are not. So how you, I mean, see that basically.
So the your question has that answer as itself. Okay, they are working on the same project. They are from the same college, but still, so few are selected and few are not selected. Okay, so there is something. There's a yardstick from where a company would be measuring whether I need to select this person or not as such. The profile which they are getting involved into it. If a person is going ahead for a BDE role, communication is a must as such. If he's going for a software development role as such, okay, communication can be something like average, above average would be good to go ahead. Every company will have their own yardstick availability as such. Okay, so if let us say if a person is coming from IIM, okay, if the communication is not good, okay, I'm not talking about language, but the communication. Okay, whether a person is speaking English or Gujarati or Hindi, it does not matter. But whether he is able to communicate well or not, that is the key out there. So if a person is coming from IIM, we assume that okay, that communication would be always top notch. Otherwise, he would not have got through that point itself, right? So the yardstick for each company is different, and that is where the measurability will be impactful out there.
I totally agree that whether anybody like in any of the language, if he or she is like able to present that, that's the key. So today, like in AI era, sir, so how to become a job ready in this AI era without chasing every new trend?
I will say if a person is a student, a fresher is coming into picture, okay, um, there are a couple of things which they will have to do. They will have to try everything out there, and then they need to figure it out what is of their interest. Whether I'm willing to do work on a UI front, whether I'm good with the analyticals as such, whether I'm good with data, whether I'm good with security, where my interest lies up there. Say this to fresher that for first 2-3 years, you need to verify, you need to explore each of these areas up there, and then select one wherein you feel that okay, this is where my passion is, this is where I can expertise into, and then you dig more into it as such. So that is one thing which I will say. A lot of trends are available, and as I mentioned, the ecosystem in which you are, it always impacts. So if there are 5 people who are software engineers and you are part of it, you'll also think that okay, I should always be a software engineer. And if there are 5 people who are QA and you're in that group, the thought process always goes that okay, let me also be part of that QA team. This is good assets. So your ecosystem is that has been driven. The trends have been driven accordingly, right? So rather than falling for trend, rather than falling for those initial advices, they are very important. By good mentors, once that you feel that, okay, there are options available, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you need to pick up that, okay, I want to go ahead with this one. And then you can, drill down more deep into it. So initial 2, 3 years, you need to think about it as only tip of the iceberg. And then when you select something, when you feel that, okay, this is my calling, you can go ahead and drill down that iceberg as such.
Very well said. Mostly students are confused, like student between if they want to choose AI, data science, I mean, they work in onto cloud or cybersecurity. Sometimes, like uh, in that graduation period or like in the BTech, like they go each and every streams or like domain they study well, deep dive into it. But still, once is the right time to choose it, they are still confused.
I have also gone through the same phase. When I was willing to select something other would come up, and I feel that, okay, this is also good. Let me try that part also. The choosing is based on the kind of problems that genuinely you are interested into solving that passage. So when I was a student, when I moved upward, I was passionate of creating something in software field as such. There were friends with me who were passionate to identify bugs into it. So when we started on the same front, both were software engineers, upgrade trainee engineers. We did a project together. At the end of the project, okay, he decided he wants to go with the QA front. I decided I want to go with the development front. So that was the calling which comes into picture. Now to the second part of, there are too many options available. Let us say AI, data analytics, or cybersecurity up there. So this is where you should taste what exactly these are. That's the first thing. Whether you are working for AI, whether you are working for cybersecurity, okay, or infrastructure up there, everywhere cloud is being used. Within cloud, AI is being used. Within AI, data analytics has been used. So everything is, there's a intermingled part as such. You cannot say that, okay, I only know AI, I don't know cloud up there. So this is something which are all interrelated up there. Yes, you would be expertising on cybersecurity, but all cybersecurity stuff would be done on cloud itself. So that is a part and parcel of that part. So the problem which you are talking about, which you are passionate of solving, let us say I'm very passionate of solving any security problems as such. Okay, I want to become an ethical hacker. So yes, that is my expertise zone, but I should be aware of how cloud works, because from there itself that cybersecurity issues have to be taken care of, or those AI problems have to be taken care of as such. So within AI also there will be cybersecurity attacks which are coming into picture. Guardrails are to be taken care of. So that is part of it, right? So cybersecurity is part of the AI's infrastructure. Data analytics, again, the same thing comes into picture. So AI is a tool where it allows you to, get those data analytics, the numbers up and ready for you. Now, how to represent it, that is a different thing as such, which comes into picture.
Yeah, totally agreed on this. So basically, one should has to identify that what interest of area he or she has. Then accordingly, he or she should has to push himself or herself to like in that stream. Great, sir. And in this, like AI also, like is learning Gen AI is more than just a prompt writing.
Absolutely, it is much more than the prompt writing. Prompt is just a way to communicate with AI. You need to understand how models work. So model A works for image creation, model B works for coding, model C works for data analytics. Okay, there's different models which comes into picture. You should be aware of what to use when. So it is combination of things which comes into picture. Prompting is just a medium wherein you are trying to communicate with the AI models as such. Now, it has to be structured for sure. Okay, it is not like previously when we used to Google. Okay, show me the best restaurant near me. That's a simple search which we used to do. Now, if you do the same thing on ChatGPT, it will also give those results up there. But you have now an option to make it very precise. Okay, it's near me, which has to be vegetarian. It has to be fine dine, something or the other. The parameters you can pass across on a natural language, and then you need to go ahead. So yes, prompting is the first step which has to be taken up, but Gen AI is much more larger than just prompting.
Right. Great, sir. So Is it like essential cloud skills for fresher or not?
I will say absolutely yes. Go
Okay.
ahead and do those hands-on training
Mhm.
given free by Microsoft, AWS, Google, every cloud infrastructure which is providing you. Okay, go ahead and do those things. That is the next goal or next, thing which would be very important out there. So even if we work here, like currently what we are talking about, okay,
Mhm.
the entire video has been saved on cloud at this point of time.
Mhm.
Entire audio has been saved on cloud as such. So this is the next big thing. Okay. So it is basics now. Like, if you want to drive a bike, okay, it would be better if you are aware how a bicycle has been driven as such. You know
Mhm.
how the brakes works, you know how accelerators work, how
Right.
bad pedals have been taken up, how you balance things. It is much more easier when you go ahead and run a bike up there, right? So everything is moving across on those wheels. So yes, I will say it is a mandatory stuff. There are lots of courses which are free of cost. Okay,
Mhm.
hands-on exercises are available
Okay.
on Azure, on AWS, and Google Cloud. Every cloud infrastructure provides you that thing. So
Mhm.
I will suggest freshers or students to go dwell into those things,
Mhm.
understand what is going on, and then take it further.
Great, sir. Great. And just last one thing. So, what's the simplest roadmap for students who are confused between like coding, cloud, AI, data analytics, and software development?
See, I will say coding is the vehicle which allows you to move from one place to another. Cloud, infrastructure, data analytics, AI. Okay, those all are maybe your destination, maybe one of the passing by stations which would be coming into picture. Make sure that your coding, your vehicle is fully fueled, it is strong, solid, so that you can travel from one point to another. As I mentioned, each of these things, AI, cloud, infrastructure, cybersecurity, everything is interlinked to each other as such. If your
Mhm.
vehicle is strong, okay, you will be able to move from one place to another without much of the hustle. If
Mhm.
you don't know those things, then yes, there would be hustles which would be coming into picture. And this is very specific for IT guys at this point of time. So it's not only that a person needs to be good with DevOps, only infra as such. Okay, but
Mhm.
within that infra, now we do shell scripting, we do YAML scripting up there. So there are a lot of scripting which comes into picture, which is actually part of coding. Whether
Mhm.
you write it in .NET or whether you write it in XML format or a script format, those actually are coding as such. On AI front, we do a lot of automation part at Ansi ByteCode. So when
Mhm.
we do an automation, it's obviously a drag and drop, but there is a lot of scripting which goes into picture. And is also part of coding. So if you know those things up there, you can do a very well work has been done very well by you with detailed up
Mhm.
there. So I will suggest go ahead, make your fundamentals strong on coding. Okay, and then
Mhm.
when based on your expertise, whether you want to do a Python, whether you want to do a scripting, whether you want to work for other things, that can be selected for sure. But fundamentally, your concept should be strong. And then these things will come and go. Like, 5 years back, no one knew that there would be something called as AI that
Mhm.
would be able to do a code. We did had code generators for sure. Every company had their own code generator, how they
Mhm.
used to create. Now
Mhm.
that all things have been moved out, now what happens? We tell AI to code this thing and the output is coming back to us. So the
Right.
same thing is there, but the structure has changed. Commitment which these code creators are generating, that is huge now. The scope has changed. So previously it was only bounded to one language. Now the scope is for multiple languages out there. So things will change for sure. But if your fundamentals are good, solid, foundation is solid, okay, you will be able to, dwell well.
Great, sir. Yeah, I would say like it's a great conversation. And for me as well, it's great learning. And I would say like everybody who will watch this or can take a lot of points and take further steps. Thank you so much, sir. कन्वर्सेशन से एक बात तो समझ आया कि टेक्नोलॉजी करियर की रियल ग्रोथ तभी होती है जब व्हेन स्टूडेंट्स गेट अ प्रैक्टिकल प्रोजेक्ट्स प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग माइंडसेट AI awareness, coding, business clarity, and after that only he will be like industry ready. एंड स्टूडेंट्स के लिए एक बिगेस्ट लेसन यही है कि वो कंफ्यूज ना हो एंड से एक बेटर डायरेक्शन उनको मिल सकती है विद दिस एंड उनके बेसिक स्ट्रांग होने चाहिए लाइक यू सेड फाउंडेशंस हैज टू बी स्ट्रांग एंड दे हैव टू वर्क ऑन रियल प्रोजेक्ट्स सम अदर एंड दे हैव टू कंटिन्यूअसली improve on that. right? So, and this is exactly what we as an idea want to bring for students: clarity, confidence, and real world direction. Thank you so much, like being on this platform and sharing your insights. And it is actually helpful, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you, Rajneesh.